Hello and welcome to KK's Quilt Studio. My name is Marilyn Stromat. Last week I shared with some of the Facebook long arm groups a design that I had created, and I got several requests from folks who said, how'd you do that? So I'm here today to share with you the design program that I use. This is Art and Stitch. It came packaged with the purchase of my machine. It is a digitizing program. It's digitizing similar to machine embroidery for those of you that have sewing machines that do embroidery. It's the same principle, creating a quilting design, only you're creating line art instead of designs that are actually filled in. This program also has an embroidery add-on, but we're going to talk about the quilting side. It will save in several machine formats. Every brand of machine has a different format, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. This is what you see when you open up the program. You have a design table and you have your tools across the top and across the bottom. I'll show you how we get started. We open the backdrop tool and I've downloaded some clip art. This is the clip art that I used, a picture of a bat. And first thing I'm going to do is make him a little bit larger and lighten it up just a tad. We can fade out the picture and apply. This little box down here is the navigation tool. If you ever get lost in your workspace, this shows you where you are basically on the work table. So let's get started then. I'm going to go over to my toolbar, to my drawing tools now, and essentially what we're going to do is trace the artwork. We're going to trace the bat. So I get a little crosshair, my mouse turns into a crosshair, and I simply left click to plot out the points. These aren't plotting stitches, but points. And this is the curve tool, so every third click I get a line that conforms into a curve. You see here we got a little off track, but you can come back and fine-tune the artwork. That's a lesson for another day, and I'm just here today to show you how easily and quickly we can turn something like this into a quilting design. So I'm roughly going to trace around this. I'm not going to bore you with it with each design, so we'll click ahead. And here I've gone all the way around the bat design, and now I come down. I've changed tools from my curve to my line tool for my piano keys. So I've gotten down to here. I'm going to use my lines on my graph paper to click on my lines, and then I would switch back to the curve tool, go around, come down, and again. And when I click ahead, there we have the design. I've turned the background tool off, the backdrop tool, so my clip art has basically disappeared. And now what I have is a series of points, and you can see this is the outline of my Batty key border. I have a green mark to signify where I started, a red point to show where it ends. if I want to take a look at the repeat, there's some transformation tools up top, and this one will repeat the design. I can get rows. I only want one row because I want to use this as a border, and I can tell it how many I want, either one or how many across. Since I don't need to do this for my machine, it does give me a preview of how the design's going to look when it does sew out, but my Pro Stitcher will repeat the design and size it to the quilt. So this is just for a preview, so I can cancel out of here. I've already assigned stitches to this, so if I go down to the lower half of the screen, I can do a simulation sew out. So when I click on this button, it begins the sew out, and I can watch it sew if it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. If there's anywhere I feel I need to go back and maybe fine-tune the design a little bit, I can do that as well. So now that we've finished sewing out, if we want to save the file, go to Save As, and of course I would put it in a design file and give it a title, call it Bat Border. This is what I wanted to show you. Under here we can save it in all these machine formats, and of course then here down these are all embroidery formats. We can also save it in all quilt or all embroidery formats. So I hope you've enjoyed today's preview. I invite you to go to Art and Stitch website and check out their program. I do not sell the program. I'm just here to share with you a program that I really like, I really enjoy, and I think that they provide some great support, better than any embroidery program that I've ever had before. So hit the like button on your way out, and thanks for joining us today. Hope to see you again soon. Happy sewing.